Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everybody to the MMF podcast. Today we're trying a slightly different setup. You should be able to see our two gentlemen ninjas over there and the two of us here. So this is episode 28.
Yep.
Ini berlambak bro. 28 if we do one every week.
Oh, sorry, 29.
29. One every week is how many episodes already? Every weeks? 29 weeks.
29 weeks.
29 weeks spread out over how many months?
About a year. We started last year's
Has it been a
Ramadan.
year?
Yeah. We started last year Ramadan podcast.
It could be one every other week, on average.
Yeah. And then like Ramadan we didn't shoot. We've been busy here and there. So like some weeks we shoot, some weeks we don't. Okay, so then this episode is to talk about the podcast. A podcast episode about podcast. And so come, let's start with this. We started this a while back, before one became a ninja and now one's a ninja. From a regular guest to a ninja. We started this with the intention of helping people, talk about current events, talk about Islamic finance, talk about our work, talk about some of the struggles that the average person is probably facing. And the questions that they have, from things like Wasiat and Faraid, orang mati, dia dah mati lepas tu orang gaduh pasal harta, dah gaduh pasal harta kena maki hamun lagi. Ni baru inheritance. Then we talk about a little bit on insurance here and there, how from no takaful to have takaful, about how even the current takaful plan, to be frank with you, may not be as good as you think. We also talked about investing. Right, investing, especially now, orange man in power, God knows what to do. But so let's have a quick reflection from each of us. What's it been like for the past 1 year? Let's start with Zul, since I'm looking at him right now.
Alhamdulillah, I think the past 1 year or so that we've been doing this podcast, it's been, I would say, quite fruitful in a sense that we are able to share our experiences in this industry through our journey in investment, in inheritance planning, and also a bit of insurance, which are actually minor things in life but have a major impact in everyone. And sometimes people seems to overlook. So through our experience and sharing it, we actually have a lot of feedbacks from our viewers and listeners that inquire more with regards to the topics that we share and the stories that we share over the years.
Tujuh.
I mean that's my takeaway for the past 1 year.
Asri, what about you? Pegang.
Okay, thank you, boss. Okay, so my takeaway, talking about this actually reminded me of the very first time actually Afiq actually proposed the idea. I'm like, what podcast? Me in front of a camera, like really? No. So this proposal went on for weeks, I tell you, weeks or months direct by. And then when Zul came in, then finally we started one. So the pressure was less on me. I figured, I was like, okay, now I got another coolie beside me, and then me and him will be the two coolies, and then one big boss here.
Kuli konon. Aku yang kuli dia.
Yes. Afiq has been the backbone, carrying our conversations, and I appreciate him doing and starting all of this because, to be honest, it has been enjoyable. The experiences and the feedback, I would say, when people actually come up, you're from Hollywood Muslim Finance. Oh, I see you in the podcast, in the YouTube page, in the IG. So yeah. At the very least, we are seen, and it gives us a certain level of, I would say, recognition, and it's easier for us to actually, approach and have a common topic, rather than, lose our power. So yeah. So
You're not Afiq. Yeah, remember that one? You're not Afiq.
Yes.
Yeah, he's better looking. Yeah.
Also, at the same time, when we do the podcast, believe it or not, we do learn a couple of lessons as well, especially when it comes to investing. Afiq is in this industry for over 10 years, and
15.
Oh, 15. Oh my god. So yes.
Aku tua.
15 years.
So there you go. So Alhamdulillah for this opportunity, and I do look forward to more podcast sessions in the future. So that's my takeaway. What about you, Rizwan?
Thank
Yeah,
you. So, yeah, ever since Afiq came up with the idea for podcast kan, macam seems interesting because we have always been training from Afiq in Zoom, in physical. Then why not have this idea of making a podcast? Macam share lah. This kind of information also is beneficial for everybody else also. Not just us. So it's not really much of a secret lah. Then we lightened up a bit. So and it started with me as a guest, and I mean I don't really know what is a podcast. I mean how the podcast everything works. Kita dengar, we only listen from the podcast as a consumer, but I never really thought of being a contributing factor in the podcast. So it's fun lah. It's quite fun and definitely learn a lot.
Scam.
Huh? Yeah, I remember that. So initially I thought this is a scammer thing, but no, it's a real person. Afiq is a real person. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Not AI, not AI generated, not deepfake or whatever. So yeah, it's apa good lah to share the information with each other. Quite laid back a bit lah, not so really formal because Aziz apa kadang-kadang you too focus on to achieve something, then sometimes you forgot that you are also a human being. Yeah, we also need to have some laid back, berbual santai sikit once in a while, and then but at the same time kita learn lah together. That's where sometimes we learn better, then we understand better. Yeah. So yeah, thank you again from being a guest in this podcast, then now being part of the Ninja, and inshallah apa we contribute more lah and share. So it's not really about us, it's about the community. The purpose of this. And yeah, thank you. Okay, and thank you for all those watching. Continue and give feedback also, good or bad. I got those feedback about my speech also. And Alhamdulillah, thank you for all the feedback that you give me, and this is how we improve lah. No feedback, we don't know whether we are doing good or not. So bad or good or bad is still feedback, so we accept it. Thank you.
Alright, man. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Man, no such thing as bad feedback. Right? Unless you kata tak suka one handsome sangat, tak boleh. Tu kepada aku bad feedback. Sebab
Ya, pasal kita tiga macam mana?
kita siapa? But yeah, I mean, we've been doing this 29 episodes. It's been learning journey. To be absolutely frank, it's a learning journey. We learn how to do podcasts. We learn how to we use StreamYard. We use Zoom. Now we're using mobile phones. We're using mics. We're in person on digital. Semua kita try. We talk about all kinds of topics, and one is right. Good knowledge should not be kept a secret, right? And we also know that when I share good knowledge to y'all share to other people, diorang dapat pahala, korang dapat pahala, paling penting aku dapat pahala. MLM. MLM pahala. The only thing we want to do. And obviously I see it going on more and more. Kita banyak. There's a lot more to talk about, especially trending topics right now. Orange Man in power, Takaful plans, and the landscape is always changing. Always changing, and the only constant is change, right? The personal finance and Islamic finance landscape will continue to change in Singapore, where we're shooting this podcast from. The relevance of what we talk about, well, yes, mostly will be based from the Singapore perspective, but I find it's actually applicable everywhere. Especially when it comes to investing, we hear things online where people say, "Oh, ni Bitcoin halal, boleh invest." Yeah, lah. For those of you watching, if you're holding Bitcoin and you wonder whether it's halal or not, my stance, both professional and personal, I don't think it's halal for multiple reasons, which I'm not going to go through today. Okay. On top of which, in a country where there is currently only one takaful plan, and my suspicion is people are going to push that takaful plan because dia kata ni halal, kau patut makan benda ni, walaupun benda ni not good for you. It's detrimental to you, and yet people say is walaupun dia halal. Just because something is halal doesn't mean it's healthy, right? You eat KFC every day, age 40 got heart attack. Pun ada lah. And I think we have to continue doing this, analyzing, putting our skills and knowledge to good use to help the community. End of the day. Kan?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
Right? Again, it goes back to pahala MLM lah. Right? Siapa nak pahala? Siapa tak nak pahala? Siapa tak nak? Siapa tak nak? And so, I mean, one of the topics we want to talk about a bit further today is how far we've come. We've noticed how far we've come. And I also want to talk about what else we're going to be doing. And of course, to our listeners or viewers, if you have specific questions, topics, or things that are just burning inside your heart that you want to meluahkan, you want to tell us, let us know. Let us know. We're very, very easily available on our website, Modern Muslim Finance. Email us, mmf@modernmuslim.finance. Find us on our own IGs. I'm obviously at Modern Muslim Finance. You're
Asri.Rosli.
Asri.Rosli.
Asrirosli.sg lah.
Kau pun satu. Apa?
Asrirosli.sg.
And one dengan Zul apa?
Zulkifli.sg.
Mine is muhammadrizwan.sg.
Semua .sg.
Semua .sg
Pasal kita kat Singapore bro.
Good point.
Macam for now semua .sg.
Good point. But yeah, so at the end of the day, you want to find us online, find us on Facebook, on IG, on LinkedIn, on Spotify, on YouTube. It's quite hard not to find us lah. Let's put it that way. You know, and if you have questions, just send it to us. So today, I think let's talk about the plans moving forward, right? I want to commit, inshallah, for us to be able to do more episodes, and not just online, but if you can do physically, like what we're doing today, or even we go out somewhere, we sit down at a cafe somewhere. I have a question to all our listeners. How do I get 4 microphones to 1 mobile phone?
Soundcard.
Soundcard. Kau soundcard.
That's one of the way.
I've seen 3 mics.
To 1 phone.
Yeah. It came in 3.
Use a soundcard, you can
I
have
don't
multiple
know.
source of input.
Is that the ATEM thing? Son, doesn't that thing cost like a few $100s? Just because the name is Modern Muslim Finance doesn't mean I have a lot of finance. Okay. But yeah, so for any of you watching out there, if you can suggest to me a way for me to get 4 microphones to 1 mobile phone to record, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, so we're looking at future episodes. We're looking at things maybe outside of Islamic finance. We still have a lot to cover. But what's some other topics that you guys can think of that are burning a hole in your heart that you're thinking about, that you want to talk about? Marriage. I mean, we're running the program Money and Marriage for Muslims.
Yeah.
All of us are
We got
married,
the
alhamdulillah.
Wasiat, we got the Wasiat course coming up, and then
Money and marriage for Muslims.
for me, I start with a lot of Wasiat, talking about Wasiat. Then that has always been in my mind lah, the Wasiat. Then just because especially Hari Raya, I hear some of the stories from inheritance perspective, some of the horror story also.
Cerita.
Kau jalan raya bukan pasal mati.
Just people know that aku buat wasiat, so people tend to share. But most of the story semua is the story of the arwah lah, means dah meninggal pun. So there's nothing much I can help. But that is aside lah. I mean, they just share their story. So one of them is like macam how to say? Their parent pass away already, then rumah and macam lah, pendek kata, just cut it short lah. We all thought it is simple, just because they got only not many inheritance, that kind of thing. But from what I heard, it has been dragged for almost 2 years already, and that property still not settled yet. But from the Faraid perspective, quite straightforward. There's not much of the beneficiaries, but because there's no preparation, there's no wasiat, then because of the deceased when your sibling is a lot, then it become complicated. And I mean, I personally don't know who is this person, but I heard that kind of story macam kita selalu dengar macam normally it takes like 6 months kalau tak ada wasiat kan. But this has been raging for more than 1 year already. That's like one of the story macam sometimes it can take longer lah.
On another note, I actually spoke to someone, a relative of my wife, who works in the courts. Yeah, so she does get involved with the whole paperwork, especially with the probate and the admin. So she was sharing with me. Actually nowadays, most of the people actually do the probate or admin process on your own. They don't go through the lawyers.
It is possible. It is possible.
And the surprising thing that she told me was, sometimes the lawyers take maybe 3 months, while if you do the paper on your own, it can take 1 month.
Oh.
1 month.
Wow, okay. Can we schedule in a day where we invite your wife's friend as a guest?
Cousin.
Cousin as a guest. Why not?
Oh,
Just
not
do one online, share her experiences, like some of what are common pitfalls that people see, common mistakes that she sees, the lechiness, the easiness, how to do it. Why not? Can we get her on?
Inshallah, one day.
Yeah.
I'll speak to her.
Yes, please. Why not? Because I just got a call. The other day I was in KL. I got a call. This gentleman was saying about wasiat juga. He wants to do a wasiat for the mother. So the case became more complicated because the current flat that they're staying in, the mum, the brother, and the sister, three of them together are joint tenants. Right. So he recently got married, so he had to remove his name. And his biggest concern is when the mother passes away, he will go to the survivor, which is the sister. And here's where it gets complicated. He asked me, when his mother dies, the house goes to the sister in full. Correct?
Yes.
Correct. Joint
Correct.
tenancy, right? The sister is currently in prison.
How like that?
What you mean?
That's what he asked me. How like that?
What you mean? Why like that or how
How like that? How like that? I said,
How
how
like
like that? If she's in prison, she can't administer to anything. What? So sangkut lah. Belongs to her, 100%.
But it still belongs to her lah.
So the key here is for this particular gentleman, I told him, you need to be able to talk to, well, your sister, your mom, right? Have a wasiat for your mom in place. And then your sister maybe even needs to do a power of attorney to be able to give somebody authority to be able to transact on her behalf. Because it is a complicated thing. And so it's stories like this, the overtime that we collect, that we need to sebarkan, of course, obviously everything is private and confidential. We don't say names and all, but we can learn from these kind of things. Kan? Like the one another family who said, let them fight. I don't want to do wasiat. Let them fight.
Pandai korang.
Pandai lah. Up to you lah. Let
Pandai.
them fight. Or, for another topic we were talking about, remember that lady who has a lot of insurance plans, but if she passes away or she falls sick, there's no coverage? All endowment plan, all savings plan, so more haram, and she's paying like $12,000 to $13,000 a year. Remember? That we're doing for her all the things. Oh, kau tak tahu?
I remember you mentioning something like this, yes.
Then how? How like that?
How?
Let them fight.
Let them fight. So we hear all these kind of horror stories, and I think if we don't talk about these horror stories, they will remain hidden. So we need to talk about it. And so for all our viewers out there, if you do have horror stories you want us to share, please let us know. And I'll be more than happy to tell the story.
Bukan misteri jam 12
Ni misteri 12 petang. Misteri jam 12 petang. Petang kita cakap.
Tengah hari.
Tengah hari, yes. But yeah, what are some of the other things that you guys, keep you awake at night when it comes to topics that we can talk about?
We do have the class coming up, right?
Money and marriage for Muslims, MMM.
M.
So siapa-siapa nak datang jangan kata Then.
I was just thinking, a lot of these, maybe when we portray it out, it's for Muslim couples and that kind of things. So one of the topic that we actually do cover is actually the income portion. Like, let's just put it this way. So when was the last time you actually looked at Shopee?
Shopee.
Yeah.
I hardly look at Shopee.
Oh, you hardly. Where do you do your online shopping?
I don't. My wife do the shopping.
I can answer that. Now the time is roughly about 12 o'clock, right? The last time I looked, not Shopee, but AliExpress.
Oh, AliExpress.
AliExpress was just before we started recording. I bought another set of microphones.
So what you this one?
This morning.
Oh, this morning. What were you looking for?
Actually, just looking at my shopping cart. See, got anything I need to remove lah.
So same for me. I was actually this morning, wife actually texted me, A6 on sale, flash sale, $150. A6 gel Nimbus 26. I'm like, so one part of the money and marriage for Muslims, modules we actually cover is actually the income portion. So if you want to know how you want to manage your money, your income, and let's just put it this way, where I spend almost $100 every week on Shopee, come and join us.
Kau beli apa?
Join
Dude,
us on
you gotta
how to spend
understand.
$100 per week.
I was expecting
Guilt-free.
100 a month.
No,
100
bro.
a week, eh?
So you gotta understand something. They have daily vouchers on Shopee. You have to hit $70, you get $6 off. So I'm a spender, one of my traits.
It's about 9% off.
So yes.
Suka tingkau, bro. But he managed to spend guilt-free.
Yes.
Guilt-free. The guilt is free lah. Is that what you're trying to say? You can spend, but the guilt you get is free. You don't have to pay for the guilt. Is it? Nampak, ha? Apa kau beli?
Well, just last week I think I bought
Running shoes.
no, not running shoes, bag. You know I have to go to I'm planning to actually go GB these days once every month of the other month.
Oh, grocery shopping.
Grocery
So
shopping.
you literally need a grocery bag lah ni.
Not exactly a grocery bag, but I did bought like the harvest bag, the army one. So and then you need $70, so you need to top up, you know.
Oh, might as well lah. Might as well.
Their marketing works.
You see, the thing is,
Their marketing works.
during MMM, Money and Marriage for Muslims, he actually covers the segment about being able to spend guilt-free. So legit, he's allowed to say this kind of thing. Kan, he's allowed because he actually does it. Good for you, brother.
Yes. I embrace what I teach. I practice what I preach.
Practice what you preach. Alhamdulillah. So that's one other thing. Yeah? But and we know statistics show that one of the biggest causes of divorce is money. You know, people who don't know how to communicate with each other about money. Like for example, Zul says the wife spend everything on Shopee. He don't care. I am in a very similar boat. I tell my wife what to buy. I want this. Kau cari kan? Then she will find the best deal. And then when everything arrives, I scold her. Why so many packages? And she look at me. It's yours. My bad. You know, then there's a little bit of friction here and there. And Alhamdulillah, being able to help some people, I give them some advice on their money personalities. You know, they are savers, spenders, thinkers, and avoiders. You know, we cover that during the class as well. And if we can help one couple manage their money better and avoid divorce, then I think we've done something good. Right. So the podcast is one of the many things that we do. The classes are also one of the many things that we do to inshallah sebarkan this knowledge that we have, that we share. Again, it goes back to MLM pahala. Okay, doesn't mean kita dapat pahala, doesn't mean we don't charge fees. So orang kata, kau punya kelas kena bayar. Tapi aku pun nak kena makan. Then somebody once said, yeah, you should reduce your food intake. Jadi sebab aku dah gemuk, aku pun nak kena makan. Dia kata, kau nak kena makan kurang sikit sebab kau dah gemuk.
We are all lovable size.
Dah, sudah.
Aku pun terasa nanti.
Kau lebih slim daripada aku, bro. Tapi aku pun lagi besar pun kau. Jalan aku duduk dia.
Duduk kena straight.
No. But do you think that if it's cheap, it's good or not? If it's free, is it good?
Good thing. Cheap thing, not good. Good thing, not cheap. But cheap and good, hard to find.
That meaning is free stuff.
I don't want to say I'm cheap and good.
Yeah. And on that note, since we're this particular episode kita boleh berbual pasal apa-apa, and we'll talk about anything we want. I remember very clearly, very very early on in my career, and more than 10 years ago, where I thought we could get people to write wasiat. We could write wasiat for people for below $100. Did I tell you guys when we first started out? Before I met all of you, our first ever wasiat product that we launched was only $99.
I think you shared before.
No? So this was about 5-6 years ago. The first ever time I wrote wasiat for people, I only charged $99. First time, early on. And I remember one of my clients, and this was very recent, I think less than 2-3 months ago, she called me again. She was my first few clients who took up the $99 wasiat product package. And so we did it for her. And she called me, she said, hey, I want to do a wasiat for my mother. I said, okay, Ken, no problem. Can you send me details of your package? I said, sure. This one again, she did it with us 5 years ago. Now today, she asked us to do for her parents, for her mom. So I said, okay, I sent her the package. She called me back and she's like, I think you put a typo. Typo? What do you mean? Last time 99. Oh. Oh.
Time 10.
Dun dun dun. Now it's 997. Inflation. 10 times more.
10 times more.
Then I told her, one, let me show you what the new package gives you. And so I broke it down, everything, the wasiat, the schedule of assets, the letter of wishes, critical context list, professional witnessing, even the deliverables, the blue folder that we give. And I showed her everything. And I told her, Puan, I want to acknowledge you for being my early supporter. You trusted in us, you believed in what we did. We produced the wasiat for you. Now the business has evolved. We're giving more value. We're giving more deliverables. We have a business. Alhamdulillah, I have consultants who help me do all of these things. We have operations, back-end stuff. We've grown. I no longer can do a $99 wasiat. It doesn't make sense anymore. Now it is $997. And she only told me two things. She said, Afiq, number one, I'm very proud of you. You grew from basically nothing. You grew all the way now and you can charge $1,000 per package. Good stuff for you. Very proud of you. And number two, let's go ahead and do it.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And so to me, good thing, not cheap. Cheap thing, good. Cheap and good, hard to find. Because I have had clients who come to me and say, wow, you can charge 997. How you do that? I go lawyer that time, I kena 3K. Because we're not lawyers, be upfront, we're not lawyers. And we're qualified to write wasiat. And you don't need to be a lawyer to write a wasiat. And we've done a few hundred already for our clients. I think we hit 200 people already, 300 people, maybe more. And this is only possible because of all my ninjas today. They're also helping me witness and deliver wasiats and consult with clients. So alhamdulillah. And to be frank with everybody out there are cheaper services out there to help you do wasiat. Ada. I'm aware of one service, $99 per wasiat. Ada. You know which one I'm talking about. Ada. They're okay. They're not bad, but they don't give as much value. And so they really are the budget option. If you really need a budget wasiat, go ahead. You good enough budget wasiat. But if you want something bespoke, something a bit better, then come to us. But if you have a really complicated situation, like multiple businesses, properties everywhere, all over the place, by all means, go to a lawyer. Because then the lawyers will charge you the correct amount for the correct amount of work.
Yep.
And for the most average person in Singapore, everybody out there, you got house, you got bank account, you got wife, you got husband, you got children, we are good enough already. Yep. Very rarely do I find those people who, they go for the $99 wasiat. They actually come back to us. And they say, dorang punya tak comprehensive. It's super basic. I say, yes, I know. That's why they can charge 99. That's why we charge. So we fill a very nice niche in between the super high end with the lawyers and the super low end. So we fill that niche. So alhamdulillah. And it's been how many years since we started writing wasiats? 5-6 years, right? And it's one of our most popular services and one of our most popular classes also, Wasiat and Faraid. Because why? Every day people are born and every day people die. Sekorang macam nervous. Orang mati.
But this year you are doing something. Your focus is now no longer on. Well, your focus is now on something else. And
Chicas. Oh, sorry, not chicas.
the chicas with the yellow hair right now.
Chicas with the yellow hair?
Yeah.
Investment kan.
Apa chicas with yellow hair?
We're gonna be at the mall.
He's not a chica.
This is the orange man. This is the orange man.
Orange China. We're gonna be the best. The best. But okay, so to all our viewers, because the Wasiat business is running by itself, alhamdulillah, you guys are handling it. I'll be teaching the classes. You guys are handling the clients, delivering fantastic work. Focus for me personally is we're gonna be talking about investing a lot. And I think we are in a very, very interesting, opportunistic time right now. Markets have dropped more than 10%. And the orange man is in power. It's going to be fun. If you are below the age of 55 to 60 years old, you're younger than 60. Let's put it, you're younger than 60, fantastic opportunity for a lot of us. If you're 60 and above, be very careful. Also talk to us. We'll show you how to structure your portfolio properly. And so for the next year, maybe 1.5 years, I'll be focusing a lot on investing. We're going to run investing classes, halal investing courses, how to invest your money the halal way for maximum return for minimum risk, inshallah. China. Tu je. Then, aren't you guys excited? Yay, sikit lah.
We were just sharing a joke earlier. We've heard a lot about the S&P 500, S&P 500.
Apa tu? Boleh makan?
When it comes to investments, everyone would say
S&P.
S&P 500 going up, going down, going up, going down. So as Muslims, can you invest in the S&P 500?
Can.
If you want to go to Jahannam.
Kosa je.
You want to go Jahannam.
But
Apa bad?
can we invest in something similar to it?
Can. Apa tu? Kau cakap lah. Tu nervous. On camera tu nervous.
Yes, of course. I'm actually a shy guy.
Kau shy. Aku paling shy. Kau syaitan.
So, they call it the S&P 500 Sharia Index Fund, is it?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
They are halal investment now lah.
Yes.
So memang initially all these are memang it is non-halal everything.
Haram, girl.
Haram, go Jahannam if you invest. Tapi now there are opportunity for us Muslim to invest in halal fund. So there's more than one actually.
Plenty.
And not just investing in America je, it's investing globally. So whatever happens in America wouldn't affect much of your diversification.
Tell us more, Wan. Kan I had to specifically say, tell us more. Orang tengah semangat berkubar-kubar tapi dia diam terus. Mana boleh?
Mana boleh? Tak lah. So yeah, apa nak aku cakap So attend African class lah.
Tengok dia punya tai chi. Okay, short answer for everybody out there if you're watching. Yes, the S&P 500 index is non-compliant, haram, but there is the S&P 500 Sharia index which you can then purchase or invest using either an ETF or a unit trust. Now, this is not financial advice, but you can go and Google this. The first ETF off the top of my mind is SPUS or HLAL. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they are the Wahid FTSE US Sharia ETF and the SP Funds Sharia ETF. Those are the two ETFs I can think of. The other one, if you're using a unit trust and you're in Singapore, you may want to consider the HSBC Islamic Global Equity Index Fund, available on Fund Supermart, or the Templeton Sharia Global Equity Fund, also available on Fund Supermart. Now, again, not financial advice. These are two equity funds that you can consider if you're looking for aggressive growth. Now, bear in mind, aggressive growth usually means higher risk. So you will see up, down in the market. But if you're going long enough, minimum 5 years, 10 years, you will be inshallah okay. Before you make any financial decisions, please speak to us. Okay, this disclaimer is needed sebab kita dah finfluencer, financial influencer kan?
Thank you.
So kita nak kena be very careful with what we say.
On another note, because the things we've talked about investments, wasiat, and we talk about the income. So we are doing this MMM class. And we actually have someone who actually is very, very, let's say, working close in the marriage or wedding industry, which is Zul. So I was just wondering, petang seram 12 petang. do you have any horror stories
Jesus.
in your line of work?
Yang
Horror
orang nak kahwin
stories.
ambil loan 100,000 kan.
Oh yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Wedding has been very close to my heart for
How
a
many
long-
weddings have you had? Sorry.
I plan many weddings because my wife is a wedding planner. She's an international wedding planner. So we've planned wedding. We have overseen wedding for over the past 7 years. So wedding and marriage is something that's close to my heart. And now as a financial consultant, it's much more closer in the sense that I've seen young couples who struggles after their marriage or even before their marriage, because some of them, they have big dreams but budget very low. So they start off a wedding because they want it to be a very grand wedding, they want it to be a lavish wedding. They start taking loans, so they start off their marriage on the wrong foot where they have lots of loans. Then after that they suffer as a couple, as a young couple, especially with their loans. Then those are the loans that they are aware of that they took together. And there are couples where they hide their loans between each other before getting married. So when after the wedding is being exposed to each other, then it snowballs from there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, exposing to each other, they expose to the loan. Get it?
Yeah, so MMM, money and marriage for Muslim is something which is very close to my heart. So I really want to encourage young couples or even uh, older couples lah,
Apa? Pengantin basi
pengantin lama, pengantin basi, to join us as we explore each other's
Duduk janda.
Cheers.
apa ni?
Tak ada, saja je, moving along.
Couples to come and join us to understand your money personality so that you can what do you call that, communicate with each other better.
And to be frank with you, when we ran MMM the first time, one of my close clients messaged me, Afiq, pengantin basi boleh datang? That was the first time I've ever heard pengantin basi. I was like, I texted Puan, apa tu? You know lah, we've been married for how long already? Their oldest child is like 20 plus already. Can we come and attend? And they did. They attended MMM. They were the oldest couple in the room. Remember the one at the back? The oldest couple in the room. And they had the most fun. And they was like, oh, that's why my husband like that. Like, yes, Puan, korang dah berumah tangga dah 20 plus years, 30 years now you understand. And to be frank with you, this year, this couple came back to me. You know, they said, okay, my son is really independent, working already. They go spare money. Spare money, come, Afiq. They throw 5K a month at me.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Bagus.
Yeah.
Afiq, what kind of show did you give?
I help them invest their money in a Sharia compliant way.
Alhamdulillah.
People throw money at you.
Masuk dalam Berserput. And on that note, we're going to be ending the episode very, very soon in a few more minutes because we've gone half an hour.
Yeah.
Siapa lah nak dengar kita berbual setengah jam kan? And so, inshallah, look out for our next episode. We'll probably be talking about a whole myriad of topics. We've got the 5 eyes of Islamic finance. Banyak kita belum cover. I think this is the second episode after Shawwal, kan? After Ramadan and after Raya. So we're going to be shooting a lot more. Gentlemen, any last words before we close this episode? Zul?
Do watch out for our upcoming events, the Wasiat and Faraid class, our money and marriage for Muslims, and also our other sharings through our podcast on Spotify. Yep.
What about you, Wan?
Yeah, nothing much. Just nothing much. Bukan nothing much. Just look out lah kita punya apa berbual Melayu. Boleh lah. Just look at our social media, our upcoming classes, and give your feedback also lah. Kalau ada anything that we can improve on, or I also start posting some video also, and give your feedback also from my post, and that's how we grow lah. And yeah, that's all I think. Sorry lah.
Simple. All you have to do is say, what about you, Asri?
What about you, Asri?
Okay, so maybe about 2 years or 1 year ago, spending on Shopee was a chore because every deal had to be checked thoroughly, even if it's like $1, is there something cheaper? So right now, Alhamdulillah, with the income method, I've learned how to manage better my finances. So, like Afiq said, spending guilt-free. To those couples out there, let's say your spouse actually, is not too happy with your spending. They could be another financial bird, I would say. What do you say? A saver, financial personality. Oh yes. So financial personality. So to work things out, I do recommend actually join our class. Alhamdulillah, me and my wife,
Find another spouse.
our financial person. That one we cannot help you. That one come to the class and then you speak to Zul. So yes, we look forward to having you joining our class, and Alhamdulillah, inshallah we'll see you there. How about you, Afiq?
Now you know how to end it. How about you, Afiq? Alhamdulillah. We've come to another episode. This is 29. We're going to have a lot more, inshallah. More and more classes. Just a quick plug to all our listeners and our viewers. All our classes are available online. Our live classes, our recorded classes, the ebooks I've written, all our podcast episodes, even exclusive content for our listeners, they're all available online via the Halal Investor Club, HIC. Right now, I think our marketing team is running a promo where you can get the first month of HIC absolutely free. Then after that, it's less than $1 a day. It's only $27 a month. Okay, so just a quick plug on HIC, the Halal Investor Club, where you can access all of our courses, all our material online for less than $1 a day. My name is Afiq, Chief Finance Ninja at Modern Muslim Finance. These are my brothers from other mothers, Zul, Wan, and Asri. We will see you at the next
And
one,
Zul.
inshallah. Zul, Wan, and Asri, and
Zul one answer. Okay.
spoiler.
Sorry.
And we're gonna end the episode right now. That's my